Welcome back, party people. My name is Darrel Wilson, and today in this video, I'll be showing you how to optimize your WordPress website using the Yoast plugin. But first, what does the Yoast plugin really do?
The Yoast plugin allows you to index and optimize your WordPress website in the Google search results. With Yoast, you can optimize every page and post of your website and display it how you want in the search engine. Plus, by the end of this video, your website will be fully optimized for all major search engines and will be all ready to go. First, I'll show you how to configure Yoast on your WordPress website with the optimal settings for Google. I'll go through each settings and explain it like a beginner, so don't worry. Second, I'll be showing you how to submit your website to the Google Search Console, which basically tells Google your website is alive and you'll be able to view your website analytics. Then I'll show you how to submit your website sitemap, which basically tells Google to start crawling your website and help visitors understand what your website is all about. And lastly, I'll be showing you how to display your website in the Google search results. So you notice when you go on Google and you see each website with the title and some description of the website. Today I'll be showing you how to display your website content the way you want it in the Google search results. Today, I'll be taking a WordPress website that has never been optimized for Google, and by the end of this video, it will be fully optimized and all ready to go for all major search engines. So I'll walk you through on how to set all this up today, step by step in this Yoast tutorial.
So by the end of this video, you guys will have a fully optimized website and it'll be all ready to go. So we're gonna take your sitemap, we're gonna submit it to Google, we're going to submit your sites to the Google Search Console, and we're gonna optimize all of your pages for the Google search results. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm gonna take my real estate website here. It's never been optimized. We've never installed Yoast on it, and I'll walk you through the process of setting everything up for optimal settings. So let's go ahead and go to the dashboard, and we are going to first install and activate the Yoast plugin. So under plugins, add new. I'm sure you guys have seen this screen many times before. Under search plugins, we will type in Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T. And this is the plugin that we're going to install, Yoast SEO. So right now, I'll click on install now, and then we'll click on activate. All right, so we have installed the plugin. Now, I want you guys to actually go through the setup wizard, and you can access the setup wizard by clicking on this Yoast and seeing the configuration wizard and clicking right there. All right, so this is the setup wizard, and this is going to kind of set up your website and add some settings to Yoast and help you configure it. So let's first go ahead and just answer the first question. So is my site ready to be indexed? If it is, you'll put yes. If it's not, just put no. But I would just do A anyways, because it does take time for Google to optimize your sites. It's not going to be like immediate. So the Yoast plugin, it doesn't guarantee the results, but it does influence it. So eventually the results will be on the search engine. So right here we have, what does this site represent? Well, I'm a small business, so I'm just going to say a small business. Now, if you are a blog or an online shop, you'd go ahead and select any one of these types. So I'll just say a small offline business and click on next. All right, and are you a person or an organization? So if you are a company, you'll go ahead and select organization and you'll fill out your information. Now this is good because this might appear in the Google search results. Like for example, on mobile, if you select an image of your company, generally the mobile searches show images. So that's why you'd want to go ahead and put all of your information about your company. So this is Darrel Estate. And then I'll just choose an image. And then here, you'd go ahead and put in your Facebook page and everything else. I'm just gonna put these for now, but make sure this is your Facebook page and not your private Facebook page, because then if it's private, it won't display anything and everyone will just get like broken links and stuff like that. So make sure you put in the correct social media URLs. And once you've done with that, you'll click on next. All right, now we have the search engine visibility. Now you're gonna have some options right here, and your options may differ depending on the plugins or custom post types you have installed on your website. For posts to be displayed in the search engine, make sure this is yes. Pages, yes. Now these right here are custom post types. So I don't know if you guys have these available, probably not. So I don't want my landing pages, because these are templates for Elementor, which is a page builder. And I don't really even care if my templates get accessed or indexed. In fact, they're probably not going to anyways by default. So I'm gonna select no and also no. However, if you have custom post types on your website, like properties or WooCommerce products, you would always wanna make sure this is set to yes. So for example, I have created properties, which are custom post types on my website. I want to make sure these are enabled by clicking on yes. So any custom post type on your website, generally, you're going to want to say yes, because you want those displayed on the search engine. So for example, I have a classified ads tutorial, and my classified ads are also indexed on the search engine. So go ahead and select the custom post types you want displayed on the search engine. The most important ones here are pages and posts, but then again, your custom post types are very important. So make sure those are also indexed by the search results. All right, and then we'll click on next. Multiple authors. So if you are a blog, do you have multiple authors? If you do, you would put yes. If no, just go ahead and put no. Here, I'll click on next. Title settings. Now, this is always adjustable. You guys can always adjust this later. This is not some like Shark Tank episode where you have to set everything right now. You can go ahead and adjust this if you want, but we'll do more of this a little bit later. But I'll just put it Darrel Estate, and I'll just use. They have a star now. I didn't even know you could put stars in the search engine. That's getting wild, huh? But I'll just put the separator, and then click on next. And here they're just saying, do you want to help improve Yoast? You can send them information, yada, yada, yada. That's up to you. I'm just going to click on next. Here Yoast is saying, well, you know, we have this and you can buy this and buy that, but I'm not going to buy anything. You're more than welcome to check out all of their training courses, but I will just click on next and skip this for now. All right, so it says you've done it. Well, not really. We're kind of like 25% done. So just go ahead and click on close. All right, so once you guys go to the setup wizard, you'll be brought to your general Yoast dashboard. You can access this dashboard at any time by clicking this general at the left side. You'll also notice that you do have more options for Yoast, so you can go ahead and check these out. But we will be going through all of these options to make sure you understand what they are. So this is the general dashboard, and this is like where they're telling you about problems, and they want you to buy the pro version, and they always want you to buy the pro. Look at this, Yoast Premium, we get it. But here, let's click on features. Now, the features are just the general features that come with Yoast, like they give you XML sitemaps, they give you, SEO analysis, and just other stuff that you need when you are, building your website and you want to set specific SEO options. So just go ahead and leave these all standard as of right now. We did turn off usage tracking. So if you want to turn that on at any time, you can click on and then save the changes. So next we have integrations, and these integrations are just other integrations if you want to add them to your site. Not really important. We don't really need to mess with anything here. However, we do need to mess with the webmaster tools. So the first thing that we're going to do is that we are going to connect our website with the Google Search Console. Now right here, we're going to click on Google Search Console. And what this is going to do is that this is going to create an account, and this is going to connect our website with the Google Search Console. So you guys will need to have a Gmail account. So go ahead and go through the process of either signing in or creating a Gmail account. All right, and once you guys go ahead and create a Gmail account, it'll bring you to a page where it wants you to verify ownership of your website. Now, if this page did not propagate, I think Google recently created an update where they automatically create the property. However, if there is no property available or your website does not display, you can click on Not Now. And then you can just go ahead and create the property. So you'll just go to add a property, and then you'll put in the domain name, and then it should sync with your website. So it's hard for me to know what Google does. So I kind of mess around with it, and I kind of like, okay, this is what they added and everything. But I'll go ahead and click on Google Search Console again, and it's going to log me into my account, and it's going to say, all right, we want you to verify this domain. So I want to click on HTML tag, and I want to copy this. Now with this, we're going to go back to our website, and we're going to paste it in right there. You can paste the whole thing. Yoast will actually strip all of the stuff it doesn't need, and it'll just take the actual the code, and there is our code. So now that we've put it inside of Yoast, we can go back to our little, I guess you want to say Webmaster Central. This is supposed to be called like Webmaster Tools. They keep changing the name. It's really annoying. But here I'll just click on Verify. Moment of truth. Yes, so now we can see that this has been verified with Google, and now we have access to the Google Search Console. Now the Google Search Console will basically give you all the information about the impressions, the traffic. It tells you where you need improvement. It's basically an analysis about your website. So go ahead and click on the Search Console right here, this link, and this will take you to your Google Search Console. Now you can see here how I have a list of domains, and what we're going to do is that we're going to add this property. So I want to now add this to my current website. So over here, I'll go to add a property. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to put in our domain. So I'll go ahead and put in my domain. So mine was, what was it? It was darrelestate.com. We'll take this whole domain and we will go over here and we will go ahead and put this in the URL prefix. All right, URL prefix, paste that, and then continue. All right, so now you guys can see that the ownership has been auto-verified, and now I can click on Go to Property, and now from now on, you can always see all the information about your website from the Google Search Console. Now, since this is a brand new website, it will take about a day, so here you can say, or you can see, this will take about a day, but what you should see is something like this over time, where it gives you the performance, it gives you if there's anything wrong with your pages. So it looks like I do have some small problems with it. Not to worry. This is my personal website. And then here we have page experience for mobile. So you can see that everything is pretty much good. I do have some things to work on, and that's probably, they're probably minor things. They're things that are probably not like, really like, like a real big problem. Looks like my review snippets need to be fixed. Huh? I gotta go ahead and talk to my SEO guy about that. But anyways, you'll see all of your information about your website right here. So congrats, you guys have successfully verified your website with the Google Search Console or Webmaster Tools, whatever the hell they want to call it. See right here, they call it Webmaster Tools. Like what's going on here? We should have a revolt. It's like, can they just tell us what it is? Is it Search Console or Webmaster Tools? Anyways, now that we've actually done that, I want you guys all to integrate your sitemap. So over here we have features, right? And next we have sitemaps. Now what I don't like about Yoast, about what they've done here, is you have to click on this check mark and then see your XML sitemap right here. Now they should put this in a more appropriate spot because your XML sitemap is extremely important. So if you click on that link right there, you will get your sitemap. Now what you're going to do is take this link right here and you're going to copy this. I'm sorry, this prefix. So sitemap-index.xml, and we're going to go back to our Search Console and we're going to paste that in. What we're going to do is I'm going to select my Darrel Estate websites, and on the left side we can see sitemaps. Now sitemaps are a roadmap of your website. It tells Google what to index. So it's very important to add your sitemap to the Google Search Console because without this, Google has no direction of what you want indexed. So once you click on, or once you paste that in, you'll click on Submit. And then just wait, and awesome. So now we can see that it has been fetched, or it has been submitted. So when you first submit your sitemap, you might get the couldn't fetch. No problem. Just go ahead and give it like a few minutes, maybe even refresh the page. And oh, look at that, success. So when you first put it in, generally you might get that error, and that's something that Google needs to fix. But rest assured, we have submitted our sitemap to Google. So now that we have submitted our sitemap, we need to go ahead and adjust some of the settings for it so that it'll display our website how we want in the search engine. So now that we've done the general settings, let's go ahead and click on Search Appearance. Now this is where we're going to talk about ways to display your website. There are different, I guess you want to say, strategies on how you want to display your website, and we'll be covering all of that in this part of the video. So the general appearance is like, for example, the title separator. Now we're going to talk about this in the very next section, but this is just the type of separator you want. Now you can always add your own, so don't worry about this. This is not something that's imperative. And here you can see that these are the general settings that we filled out in the setup wizard. All right, so next we're going to talk about content types. And this part's actually pretty important because this will dictate how your website appears in the search results. So let's go ahead and take a look at our categories. So we have post pages, we have our post types, and then we have our custom post types below that. Now, if you are an agency or a restaurant, you're going to be focused more on pages and posts. And these are the default settings in case you forget to optimize your pages, which we will do in the very next section. So you first want to make sure these are selected to on because you do want these displayed in the search results, right? Duh, I mean, that's why you're all watching this. Next, we want to make sure this is on. Now here we have SEO title. So essentially, this is kind of like how your website will appear by default in the search results. For example, we have Android right here. This is their homepage. We have the site title, separator, and then they have a tagline. This is just some description. Now, if I go to like the Android About Us, let's see, Android About Us, well, it looks like they don't have an About Us page, but the website will actually appear differently depending on the pages. Now, personally, I would recommend just doing the site title or just title of the page and then some description. So for example, if I go to apple.com, they just added in something very basic. So they just have the site title and then description. That's it, and I think that's all you would really need for your default pages. Now, I will show you a little bit later how to optimize your pages to make it look like something like this, where we can, put in all of our information and how we can display it how we want in the search results. Yet these are the default settings in case you do forget to put the custom title on your page. So I just want title, and then I want some excerpt. So over here we have a list of variables, and I want to take excerpt. Now, what is excerpt? Well, excerpt is related content that exists on the page. So it's basically the content on the page that's relevant, and it'll display it in the meta description. So I'll go ahead and click on paste, and that's it. So for your pages, generally, you just want to display the title and the excerpt. You don't want anything crazy because remember, this will appear on every page, and you don't want your website to look like a crazy madhouse. We will optimize every page because I recommend that way more than relying on the default Yoast settings. So I went ahead and I saved it. Now let's talk about posts. So for posts, these are blog posts, and if you are a blogger, this would be something like title, separator, and site name. So this would be the title of the post, separator, and then the site title. For example, here I typed in best WooCommerce plugins. And just for example, we can see we have the title of the article, separator, and then we have the site name. So title of the article, separator, and then the site title, which is the name of the website. Now, that's a good approach by default. And then also for the meta description, you'd probably want to also paste in excerpt. So if you do forget to add in content, excerpt will go ahead and gather relevant information about the article and display it in the search results. Now remember, the excerpt is this content right here. So this is excerpt. Okay, so that's just basically what you'd want to add in if you don't optimize your post by yourself. So I'll go ahead and click on Save Changes. Now, if you have custom post types, which some of you might, you want to probably do the same exact thing. So what I'll do is I'll scroll down here and I'll click on Properties. So for our SEO title, here we have the title of the custom post type. So this would be the modern office space for my website. And I'll take off the page because we don't need that, and then separator, and then the site title. So they'll always see Darrel Estate on my site. And then also I'd want to go ahead and put in some meta description or some description about the actual custom post type by putting in excerpt in the meta description. And again, excerpt is the content that displays right here. So this is what excerpt is. All right. So I would go ahead and use these for your default settings. I believe these are the most optimal ways to set it. It's relevant information and you're not really overdoing it. And remember, these are the default settings, so you can go ahead and change these at any time. So next we have media and attachment URLs. Now, if there are attachments onto your blog post and it gets picked up by Google, they're basically saying if someone clicks on that attachment, it'll redirect them to the article itself. So make sure that's selected to yes. That's actually pretty good. Next, we have categories and custom archives. So for categories, you do want to make sure these are available in the search results. Also, you do want to enable this for the SEO settings. However, for SEO titles, I do want to adjust this a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of archives, and I just want the term title. And also right here, we don't need the page, so we're going to get rid of that. So we have the term title, separator, and then also the site title. And that's all we need to put for our categories. And then also for the meta description, I'll go ahead and paste in the excerpt as well. All right, and I will click on Save Changes. Now, these are the optimal settings. This can be debated between every single SEO expert out there because everybody will have a different opinion, but these are the general default settings that most SEO users put on their sites. So next we have tags right here. So go ahead and click on tags. Now for tags, I recommend not appearing these in the search engine because if you leave this set to on, this can actually cause duplicate content problems. So my personal opinion, I recommend to take that off because if you have that on, there's always a small chance you can get penalized by Google for having duplicate content. And guys, once you get penalized, like that's it, you're on your own. Like you're gonna be on page like 5,000. So I recommend turning this to off. So over here, again, I will adjust this. I just want the term title, separator, and then the site title, and we don't really have any description for tags. And also I want to do the same thing for formats. So for the post format as well, I'm gonna leave this to off and change this, and also just have it as term title, separator, and also site title. And then also I will go ahead and paste some excerpt description in there. Why not? Now, if you guys do have custom post types, you guys might need to display them in the search results. Now, I'm not going to go through my custom post types because obviously I have too many. But if you guys do have custom post types, you'd want to go ahead and display them in the search results, and then just go ahead and do term title. I would take out the archives. I would leave the page depending on your websites. It's hard for me again to say if it's relevant for your site, but I'll just go ahead and put term title and then separator and then site name for my website. All right. So that's what I would do for custom post types, and also make sure that there is excerpt always there at the bottom for your custom post types. And I'll go to the bottom right here. Now also they have one important option, and I recommend to keep this. So right here, they're saying remove the categories prefix. And let's say, for example, you have categories. So right here, how you can see that this says property right there. If you select remove, it'll actually remove this permalink. Now, the big problem with this is that if you do want to add them back to your website, you can't because it's gone, and you will get a bunch of 404 errors. So I would recommend to just keep it. It's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal, but if you do remove it, it could become a very serious problem. So just leave that to keep. All right, and I'll click on save. All right, let's keep going. Archives. I'll leave archives to off. And also right here, we have the date archives. I'll go ahead and put yes, but I will not display them in the search results. I feel that displaying date archives in the search result is just not necessary. People don't really need to know when something was posted. You can always use a plugin or something like that, or you can add it in the description of the actual page, if you want to do that. So that's strictly up to you. But yeah, I'll go ahead and scroll down to the bottom. And well, we also have save page or special pages. Now, these are actually set to optimal settings. I would leave this by default. Also for 404 pages, remember, you can always adjust your own 404 pages now with page builders and everything. So yeah, I would leave these as their sets. These are the optimal settings. So let's click on Save Changes. So next we have breadcrumbs. And if your theme does support breadcrumbs, you can go ahead and turn it on. Pretty much breadcrumbs are just these little arrows, and it just kind of helps users navigate to your site. So for example, right here, these right here would be breadcrumbs, and it just kind of displays like the category or the subcategory, and then the category, and then the page it was on. So that's essentially breadcrumbs. You can go ahead and turn those on if you want to do that. Next, we have RSS. So RSS feed settings prevent scrapers from stealing your content. Essentially what you're doing is you're basically claiming the content. So those scraper websites that try to scrape content and try to rank for your websites, it prevents that. So I'm going to put post link here and also blog link. And blog link like that. Now also right here, this post was the post link, appeared first on blog link. And you can also put written by, and then maybe even the author link. So this again is just to prevent scrapers from stealing your content. So that's what all this is referring to. And here I'll click on Save Changes. All right, cool. So we're pretty much almost done at this point. Now let's go ahead and click on the next tab, which we have is Social. So this is where you're going to enter your, your Instagram and your Facebook and all your stuff. You're going to go ahead and insert those URLs right there. This is helpful because this sends social signals, which can help boost your website in the search results. Now also for Facebook, you guys can go ahead and submit an image. So next time you submit an image or you share the websites, it will display that specific image on Facebook. So I'll just go ahead and grab this little house right here. And yeah, so I'll just save changes. So when I share content about my websites to any social platform, it will display this really cute house right there. And also you can do the same thing for Twitter. Twitter is cancer. I don't even use that platform, but if you do use Twitter, go for it. Knock yourself out. So next we have Pinterest, and if you want to connect your website with Pinterest, which is actually a pretty good idea, you guys can actually click on the confirm your site with Pinterest. Now you will need a Pinterest account for this to work, and you would just go ahead and click on claim, and then you'll go ahead and copy this text and display it right here. Now Pinterest is actually pretty good for traffic, because whenever you see those images on Google Images, usually that is spread out by Pinterest. So it actually is a pretty good idea to connect your website with Pinterest. So there we go. We connected our websites. And then over here, I'll click on continue. Enter your website URL and then click on verify. Here I will go ahead and paste my URL and click on verify. So right now it's verifying our websites. All right, cool. So the verification's in progress and they should give us an email letting us know that our website has been verified with Pinterest. You know, I actually recommend using Pinterest. I know a lot of people say it's like, oh, it's just a girl platform. You know, it's only for, you know, girls and makeup and stuff like that. But that's really not true. There's actually a lot of people who use it to get really big traffic. And yeah, it's a very good platform to get traffic. And it's just pinning stuff. It's really not a lot of work. So just pin images and then it should propagate somewhere on the Google Images search. All right, next we'll click on tools. So these are just the general Yoast tools. You guys can mess around with these at your own discretion. However, let's go ahead and click on Start SEO Data Optimization. So what this does is that this will help speed up our website and also give us some ideas about internal linking and just give us some optimization tips for our website. All right, cool. So we have our SEO data optimized. This again helps Yoast optimize our meta tags and everything just a little bit more faster than usual. And that's a new feature they just added, so that's pretty cool. And I think that's pretty much it. Now you guys can go ahead and check out the premium option here if you guys do want to upgrade. This will actually go ahead and revert dead links. It gives you social previews, and it just does help you a little bit more with interlinking and also related keywords and stuff like that. So now that we've done with the basic options, let's go ahead and move on to the actual pages. Now, I did say to you guys all that we should actually optimize every page, and that is very true. Whenever you're optimizing your website, you do want to make sure that you optimize every page and post manually rather than relying on Yoast. So let's do that. So this is my current home page, and right here, I'll click on Edit Page. Now, you should do this for every single page. So if you have a home, about, a contact, an agent's page, or a My Restaurant page, you should go ahead and use Yoast for every single page. So I'll go ahead and scroll down right here, and now you'll see that we have this Yoast option right here. We also have this little Yoast tab on the top right here as well. So that's just another way they added it. So you can use it from the right side or this side right here. And this is focus key phrase. Now for pages, we're just going to ignore that because we want to display our website how we want in the search results. So here we have the home defaults, right? So we have the mobile and we also have the desktop result. So first, let's go ahead and preview or adjust the default for the home. So let's say, for example, I want to change the home default. Instead of actually having the site title, I'll just go ahead and put it whatever I want in there. So you can see from my website, darrelwilson.com, how I just put Darrel Wilson - home of the free WordPress tutorials. So I'll go ahead and put Darrel Estates - home of the best real estate properties. And this is how your website will be displayed in the search results. So this is the home page, and this is the first page people find when they search for your website. So the home page is very, very important. So next we have slugs, and if you do want your slug to display something a little bit more relevant, you guys can go to your pages section right here, and then let's say, for example, we have our home page by default. I can click on quick edits, and then I could adjust the slug. So I'd want to adjust the slug here, like I don't know, whatever you want to put, like you can just put home or something like that, something like this, and then update it. So this is the actual home page for my home. So now you can see the slug is home, and then I'll go ahead and update it over here to like home. So you can adjust your slug to something that's a little bit more relevant, or you can completely get rid of it if you want to do that. It's strictly up to you. But that's the slug, and then we also have meta description. Now here you can see that it's pulling up information from the home page. So let's go ahead and take a look at our home page really quick here. So here we have find your perfect home, and then take control and find your dream home today. So you can see here, it's find your perfect home, take control of your dream home today. Now I probably want to go ahead and put in some custom description. So if you do want to put custom description, just go ahead and type it in. Just go ahead and say, all right, I wanted to say this right here, find your perfect home, and then we take control and find your home, blah, blah, blah. We have a lot of properties and something like that. So this is how your website will appear in the search results. And this looks a little bit more Looks a little bit more cleaner. You probably want to use keywords that are relevant to properties or to whatever you're talking about. You know, like if I'm talking about WordPress, I put a lot of WordPress description or, words in the actual description. So WordPress and then WordPress, websites, tutorials. So again, you do want to put relevant information about your websites. All right. And we'll scroll down. Now, generally for all this stuff right here, like SEO analysis and all this stuff, this is only referring to blog posts. So you don't really need to even consider any of this stuff when you are messing around with all of this information about pages. Also on the right side, we do have some other options. So for example, we have Facebook preview. And this is something that you might want to put about like when people share it to Facebook. So this can be like, home of the best real estate properties. And then you can also select an image right here. So, we'll just go ahead and just throw in some images like that. And then, home of the real estate. And then this will just be like the description. So this will actually this will be like the description below the title. And yeah, after we're done with that, we'll just go ahead and click on return to your page. And you can do the same thing for Twitter. And then the Google preview, this will just take you back and just give you an example of what it looks like in the Google search results. And then also for schema, you just want to make sure that this is selected to the page. So this is the web page by default. And that's pretty much it. So other than that, that is how you essentially can optimize your page for the Google search results. Now, again, these other options right here, these are referring to more of blog posts. And yeah, that's that. But and that's it. We're pretty much done. So that's how you optimize pages with the Yoast plugin. Now, let's say, for example, you're using Elementor, which a lot of you are. Elementor also does have an integration for Yoast. And I'll quickly go ahead and just jump into it and talk about it just for a little bit. So I loaded my website with Elementor, and I'll click on this gear icon on the bottom left right here under settings. And now you'll see that we have this Yoast SEO settings. So these are pretty much the same options right here where you can kind of adjust things. You can read the readability analysis, keyword phrases. You can see how it looks like with the Facebook preview, and just the same options, except you can access these while you are, building your page and everything. So if that's something that you want to mess around with or you want to check out, you guys can go ahead and just mess around with some of these Yoast settings if you want to adjust it on the front end while you're building your page with Elementor. So now that you know how to optimize all of your pages, I just want to quickly touch base on the mobile preview. Now, for mobile users, you do want to make sure that you upload a image about your website in the wizard settings, and you also add it as a favicon, because have you guys noticed how Google is now displaying images next to the websites in the search preview? So you do want to make sure that you add an image to your website that kind of represents your business. And also you want to make sure your description is suitable for both desktop and mobile preview. So the desktop preview is good, and the mobile preview, I think this is also fine, but you do want to just get on your phone from time to time and just check out how it looks. Make sure everything is going according to how you want it to look. And then, once you feel comfortable, just go ahead and leave those saves. All right, so that's pretty much it for optimizing your website with Yoast. It actually is a very simple process, right? And it just takes a little time to kind of go through each page and kind of adjust it to your liking. So now that we talked about, the general settings with Yoast, we talked about how to optimize pages, let's quickly go ahead and jump into posts. So right here, let's go to plus new and click on posts. Now posts are essentially almost the same way as pages. You do just have to make some small minor adjustments to it. So right here, I'll put like the top 10 best real estate websites. People do this all the time, and then they always list their own property. It's just how it works. So here we have some other options, right? So let's say, for example, I'm writing articles on the best real estate websites. So what is my focus keyword? Meaning, which keyword do I want to rank for on Google? Well, I want to put real estate websites. Now you may also go ahead and click on this get related key phrases, and what this does is that this will actually sign you up with SEMrush to do some keyword research. Basically they're saying, are these keywords too competitive or are they even worth your time? It shows you how many times people are searching for that result and just gives you your competition and all that SEO stuff. But yeah, so that is the name of my article. Now I'm going to quickly go ahead and just put in some demo content right here. All right, cool. So I added in some demo content. So essentially what I did here was I just grabbed some article from the internet, and we'll go ahead and just dissect it, and we'll talk about what they did and everything. But first, let's go ahead and scroll down past this article. And let's say you write your article, right? So here you have the title, the separator, and then the site title. Now, personally, I would recommend just doing just the title. In fact, you can actually just go ahead and delete that and just write in your own custom title, which a lot of websites do. So this would be like the top 10 best real estate websites, and then updated. People love these little like parentheses. That's what I found out in my personal SEO practices. Like I did this before, I did seriously, you know, and when people see that, they're like, oh, okay, this guy's serious, you know, and it just kind of brings more relevance. It adds a little bit more of a subtle approach to it, and it sounds like a real person. So you can go ahead and approach that, or, you know, approach this however you want. I kind of like adding in more personal words, you know, because it's just a way to attract people to click on your blog posts. And then here we have the slug of the article. And then also here we have the meta description. Now, again, I would put something in custom here. I never want to have Yoast do it by default because I don't know what they're going to pull from the blog post. So right here, I'll put something like looking for the top 10 best real estate websites. See, our panel of judges, right, of judges have reviewed these best real estate websites and I don't know, results shown. So estate like that. So essentially what I'm doing right here is I want to make sure that my keyword is in the description, real estate websites. So we have real estate websites, real estate websites, and real estate websites. So I just want to make sure that Google knows what I'm talking about here by saying we're looking for the top 10 best real estate websites, right? So I personally like the title to do manually and also the description to do manually. I just don't like Yoast doing it, especially for articles that you spend a lot of time to write. And, you know, imagine if you spent all this time and then Yoast puts something really bad, right? So yeah, that's that. Also right here, we have the SEO analysis. So let's go ahead and just go through some of these options they're talking about. So internal links. Now, Google loves internal links. Now, internal links is essentially linking your website to other pages. So for example, let's say we'll go ahead and just, you know, click on, I don't know, one page right here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this page, and this is what interlinking is. So let's say you're talking about like find the best real estates. So right here, I'm going to insert a URL of my websites and then press enter. Google loves this because they find that you're navigating your readers to kind of circulate your website in a very organized and clean manner. So essentially what you're doing is you're just directing them to other parts of your website that are relevant. So this is exactly what interlinking is. You want to interlink them to other parts of your websites. And then we have keyword density. So keyword density is essentially how many times the keyword appears in your article. You want to keep it around 3% and everything. So in a nutshell, Yoast kind of tells you what to do and how to improve your articles. Now, I'm not going to go through all these options, obviously, because I've already created a blog post that demonstrates what you should do for your blog post, like keyword stuffing, keyword research, a lot of stuff. And it's a lot of content right here. So it's a lot of stuff to look at. I just don't want this video to get too long because I don't really want to start talking about post optimization. We're kind of focusing here on Yoast itself. So you guys can go ahead and read that article. I will leave that in the description of this video for all of you. So once you guys create your articles, you guys can just follow these rules and just optimize your post accordingly. And then also we have the cornerstone content. So cornerstone content is like the most important article regarding your website. So if you feel this is cornerstone content, then you'll go ahead and leave that selected to on. We also have the advanced tab where I'm just not going to go there. Just make sure this is set to yes for current default for posts. And then what I'll do on the right side under post, I always want to make sure that I have a featured image on my posts because, I mean, how are they going to know what represents this article if there's no image for it? So here I will set featured image. And that's pretty much it. So you guys do want to go ahead and follow some of these rules that Yoast has created for you, like reading the readability. Also right here we have schema, and just make sure you input the article that's correct regarding whatever you're writing. And then also you have social. So let's say, for example, someone shares this article to their favorite social website. This will display how you want in the social website results. All right, and that's pretty much it for creating posts with Yoast. You guys can go ahead and just kind of read through their recommendations and stuff like that, but I'll go ahead and click on publish, and I will now view the post. And there you go. So we have our post, we have our content, and then we just have a bunch of information regarding my article. So remember, make sure to interlink your article, make sure to include relevant sources, also include statistics. People love statistics. And then here you can always get ideas from Yoast and recommendations. Now, if you don't have the green little circle, guys, that's not the end of the world. Okay, I know people get really fixated on that green circle, but again, just make sure that you have relevant and good content. So that's how you guys can create posts using the Yoast plugin. All right, party people, I hope you guys enjoyed my Yoast video. I hope I was pretty clear, right? I showed you guys about the general options, the pages, and also the post, and also how to connect it with Google Search Console and how to submit your sitemap. So I hope I covered everything. If you guys do any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And also make sure to check out my other blog posts about how to write high-ranking blog posts for your websites. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Getting set up with Yoast is really simple. The top two plugins I recommend for SEO obviously is Yoast and Rank Math, because they're just really simple and convenient to use. So, but yeah, my name is Darrel Wilson, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Take care.